All right, guys. So it's been a bit since Comic Con. We had a just ton of news, absolute ton of news come out for DC, especially. We had Shazam, Aquaman, Young Justice, Titans. I mean, you name it. We had a ton of stuff, right? But in the midst of all that chaos, while I did cover the trailers and kind of the bigger stuff, I didn't really cover a lot of this Young Justice material that kind of went under the radar. So I thought, I would take a video or two and talk about some of this stuff. Today we're going to be focusing on the character profiles that were released. I'm going to be going over this right here first. I have already went over this, but just to kind of refresh everyone since it has been quite a bit. So there's going to be a big time jump. Of course, every Young Justice season always has a time jump. It's part of their storytelling. So, because the series focuses on generations of superheroes inspired by those who came before, you use the passage of time to help with storytelling, the interplay of the mentor-mentee relationships, and the growth of characters. These kind of stories can only be played out over long periods. He says, the flash forward serves another purpose. We create mystery, says Vietti. What happened in those years that we did not see? Huh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice to know that? The series will have flashbacks, though, so we don't know how many. We don't know what exactly they're flashing back to. Are we going to go back to, like, the Season 1 era, the Season 2, somewhere in between? Who knows? But anyway, the original team is now older. It's what's cool and different about our show is that you see our characters aging, which I'm kind of interested, how far are they going to go with that, are we going to see like a middle-aged Nightwing at some point? I hope not. But anyway, so Wiseman notes, for instance, that Grayson was 13th to start, and now he's entering his 20s. So just a little bit of recap information over there. And then here's some information on these two characters, which I don't believe either one of these have a profile that I could find, but this is kind of detailing these two characters. And then we'll go into the actual character profiles and kind of discuss thoughts on that. So, 13. She's a fun character who has inherited some natural mystic ability. Notes Vietti. 13 is also training with magician Zatanna as her mentor. So, yes, Zatanna is coming back, and that's cool. Of course, we already knew that. But 13 being a mystic character, I don't think we had one of those types of characters on the Season 2 team. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I really wouldn't count Miss Martian, but that's cool that we have that. And also Forager, based on the Legendary Comics creator Jack Kirby, super strong New Gods character. Forager is slightly unusual for Young Justice. We generally have a very serious tone. It's about secrets, lies, and double crosses, so it's fun to be able to introduce a character with a certain charm. The show's blah, blah, blah. He has a Forager is pretty cute, and we don't do cute a lot. So, interestingly enough, Forager is actually voiced by the guy who voiced Wally West in the first two seasons. So, that's kind of interesting. And no, they're not the same character. I know maybe some people will try and throw that conspiracy out, but no. There's absolutely... That would be very strange, I guess. And then I was looking on the Young Justice Wiki for all this because they're pretty good at compiling the info. So here we have our first character profile. I have this zoomed in like a ton. I guess let me zoom that back. Let me zoom that back a bit. There we go. Okay. So anywho, Young Justice Outsiders, Rocket. So Rocket is a character who really hasn't had a big showing on the series. If we're being completely honest, she's kind of been here or there. She comes from the same comic universe as Static Shock does, where they kind of merged into the DC universe, but her and just some of those other characters really haven't had a lot to do. So maybe Rocket will have something to do more in this series. Let's hope. She has a character profile, so that's kind of interesting. So Rocket says what she means and means what she says and doesn't care who knows it. She's funny, sweet, sexy, and occasionally maternal. So maternal is kind of an interesting one because really the only character who has a child on the team would be Roy Harper, who is Red Arrow. And for her to be maternal, I would assume there would have to be more than just his kid, right? So that's kind of interesting. I don't really know how that maternal thing is going to play out. Like, who is she going to be maternal to is what I'm kind of wondering. Aside from that, it seems kind of generic. Like, okay, yeah, she's kind of sassy, but she's also very nice. Like, it doesn't really give a huge insight into her character. or where they're going to be going with her, but I'd be interested to see where they take her character. And tell me, guys, below who you're most excited to see in this season. Of these profiles, or just of anybody, because everyone has their favorite characters, so, feel free to dig into that. Okay, next we have Spoiler. Now, Spoiler is one of the characters I'm actually really excited to see, because Spoiler is a Batman character, of course, Batman being my favorite DC superhero, but I think she's a really cool character. I think what they could do with her and Tim Drake is exciting. So anyway, Spoiler, Stephanie Brown is wickedly smart, intuitive, and driven. She definitely feels like she has something to prove, so prove it she will. So she has something to prove, I guess, because her father is a villain. I don't know if they're going to do that same story in this season or not. It would be good for her character, I think, if maybe at some point in one of the episodes her father is part of something. So yeah, that'd be really awesome if they did that. There's a lot of cool stuff about her character. She goes from just being kind of an ordinary teenager to kind of being thrust into the world. So again, I'd be interested to see where they take her. It'll give something for Tim Drake, Tim Drake and Wonder Girl being a couple is just kind of odd. If I'm being completely honest, it's very random. I guess in the same vein of Batman and Wonder Woman, which people do like, Robin and Wonder Girl, I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but I guess we'll see what they do. But anyway, Spoiler is Tim Drake's waifu, I guess you could say. That's definitely his main squeeze, or whatever sort of lingo you want to say. So I would like to see those two get together. Of course, DC does like to play games, and especially Young Justice, they don't really stick to the typical couples, so we'll have to wait and see. So Wonder Girl, we were just talking about you. Wonder Girl is enthusiastic, strong, and loyal. She can still fangirl over anything that jazzes her. That's interesting. She's honest and open and demands both in return. Okay. So she seems kind of like a naive kind of character. I mean, we really didn't see her that much in season 2. And honestly, I don't really remember much of her because she just didn't really seem to do a whole lot. Her most memorable moment for me is when she fought Lobo and just got completely annihilated by him. So, yeah, fangirl. I don't really remember her ever doing that, but maybe my memory is a bit faulty. It has been how many years since the last season? I mean, geez, it's like, oh, man, it's crazy. But anyway, Wonder Girl, I don't know if they're ever going to do Donna Troy in Young Justice. I think that would be cool, who's the original Wonder Girl. But Cassie, she's fine. I just wish they would give her more to do. It's something I kind of fear about this new season, and really just Young Justice in general, is that the more characters they do, it's like the other characters don't get as much to do, so it does make me kind of worried just a bit, if I'm being completely honest with you, but we'll have to wait and see. Recurring character here. So 13, oh yeah, she did have a profile, okay. 13 has a wide-eyed view of the world. Everything impresses her and fills her with such a sense of wonder. She's cute, snarky, and easy to get along with. So she sounds like a really cool character. Honestly, I don't really know much of anything about her, so I'm going to be curious to see what they do with her. And there's definitely a lot of new females in the team, so that's cool, I guess. Again, it just kind of depends on what they do. Another sort of almost naive character, seemingly. So, yeah, again, interested to see what they do with her. Not too much to comment. So yeah. Halo. Now, this is people didn't even know who this was exactly. I believe she was the character people were speculating on. Halo treats everything like it's brand new because to her it is. She takes nothing for granted, including her friendship. So, again, this is another character I'm not super familiar with, and it seems like another character that seems kind of almost naive, so, I don't really know how to feel about this. But she is interesting. I mean, she's a new character, so we'll have to see what they do with her and what her powers are and all that. She is shown in the main promo image. She's going to be, I think, a member of the Outsiders team, at least it seems like to me that's what they're going to do, so... again, we'll just have to wait and see, but I'm curious, and I don't know, is there another? Oh, yes, Katana and Arrowette. So, yeah, we got 2 more, okay. So, Katana is serious, dangerous, and nearly silent. Nearly silent, okay. You're lucky if you get the slightest of smiles from her, or maybe you're unlucky because that smile could turn deadly fast. So, she's a very Cutthroat character, that's pretty Katana-like. I mean, you know, not really too much to say. She's kind of thrown around as like this kind of side character in pretty much everything DC, but I'd be excited to see what she does. And she is an Outsiders character originally, so it makes sense for her to be on the Outsiders team. And then we have Arrowette. Arrowette is game for anything, but she has a strong moral center that ultimately keeps her on a steady course. She has a serious desire to do good in the world as payback for the good that she feels was done to her. So she looks very much like Artemis. I mean, they look pretty similar, to be honest. But another character that's really, I'm not familiar with any of these characters except for Spoiler. And, well, I mean, some of the recurring characters. But Arrowette, another Arrowverse character. So I guess that's going to be the new member since Artemis, Tigress, whatever, is not really part of the team anymore. It's kind of sad to see all the old cats go, but, that's just kind of how it is. So, anywho, that is about it for this discussion. I will have more on the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thumbs up if you like, subscribe if you like. That's all for now. Catch you guys later.